Hello, I'm Eric McCarty with ITD Interactive for another Whiteboard Wednesday, and today we're going to talk about how to get testimonials for a website. The inspiration for today's post came from an experience I just had on vacation, and you can probably tell I'm much more tan than I was last time. More freckles is what that means for me. But we went to Emerald Isle, North Carolina. It's on the coast, off the Outer Banks. Fantastic, man! We had a great time. The weather was good, mid to upper 70s the whole time. The water in the Atlantic was nice, nice and warm. We swam a lot. Had a fantastic time. My wife, 3 daughters. We have extended family who went. My brother and sister-in-law and their families, and father-in-law, mother-in-law. Had a fantastic time. Now, my wife and the ladies of the family actually did all the planning for the vacation and did the rental searches and found a great house on the beach. It was nice, big. There's 18 of us, and we didn't want to be stumbling all over each other. So we got a big house, pool, hot tub on the deck, that kind of thing, right on the beach, looking over the ocean. So it was fantastic. They actually rented from a group called Blue Water Realty. And they managed the property. So when we got there, everything was set up really nice. We got to the rental office. They actually had cones set up in the parking lot. They had a pavilion outside, and they had a guy there with a packet of information. Actually had this bag for us. Everything was branded. Said Blue Water Realty, and it had like the check-in stuff. Had your key. Had directions to the house. All the items inside were branded. I don't know if you can see that. It's got the Blue Water logo on it. Actually had really cool little cups that it said Blue Water Realty, and they were translucent plastic cups that when you poured a cold liquid into them, they turned to blue where the water was, or where the liquid was. So it was really cool. I thought, man, these people have it together. And so very impressed. They really set the bar kind of high on the check-in. So we drove to the house, not far away. Found it just fine, but things kind of went downhill from there. When we got there, I actually had to write it down because we had several things that were issues, and I couldn't remember them all. All right, so the hot tub was not on. Soiled linens were in the hall; they had not been picked up. The new linens had not been put on the bed. The ice maker was not working. The dishwasher was not working, which turned into a really big issue with 18 people in the house. We cooked the whole time. We didn't eat out at all. And the cable was not working. Now, we didn't watch much television, but there was a football game on the night that we checked in, which we were kind of interested in. So it took a little while for us to rig things up so that we could see the cable. But I just got to thinking, as a businessman and as a marketer, they set the bar really high. They got us thinking, all right, this is going to be great. And then things went downhill. I mean, we had to make several calls just to get things going. Everything was subcontracted out, like the linens. There was one group that was supposed to pick up the soiled linens. There was another group who was supposed to put the new linens on the bed. Neither one of those folks came through, and they didn't have anybody available to do the dishwasher maintenance or anything like that. So we went the whole week without the dishwasher working. The cable guy, that's a separate company. So they had several issues. They had different people involved, and none of it really panned out there. So anyway, it was kind of a disappointment. I got to thinking, I'm not going to give these guys a referral, a testimonial by any means. But this gives us a good opportunity to talk about, how to get testimonials, what needs to happen so that people want to give you a testimonial, and then actually how do you get it. And so I thought that might make a good thing for us to look at today. And we're going to talk about several things. One of them is that we do use a questionnaire, which we provided a link on our. If you're looking at this on our blog, it's down below in kind of the notes underneath the video here. But you'll find a link to our actual questionnaire where we're asking questions, trying to get testimonials. I'll explain more of that as we go. But let's look at 6 different ways or pieces that go into getting a testimonial. And the first is tell them up front. One of my very favorite business and marketing books is called The Referral Engine by John Jench. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not. Sorry, John, if you ever see this. John Jench, The Referral Engine. He also wrote Duct Tape Marketing. One of the things he talks about in this book, which is just fantastic, is when you're doing a sales call or a sales meeting, if you tell the folks up front, you say, listen, you're going to be so thrilled with what we're going to do for you, the service we're providing for you. At the end of the process, when we launch the project or do whatever it is that we're going to do for you, we're going to ask for 3 names of your friends or colleagues or business associates who need our service. And you're going to be so happy, you're going to be glad to refer us to those folks. Now, we can kind of take the same thing and say, well, we're going to ask for a quick testimonial for our website. But here's what John says. He said, one of the absolute best places to start a conversation about referrals with a customer is before they actually become a customer. If during a sales presentation you're able to state that you know a potential customer is going to be thrilled with the product, service, and experience so much that they're going to want to tell others about it, you accomplish 2 things. You set the expectation that you are indeed going to check in and make sure they are thrilled, and you are virtually promising that they are going to be so impressed that they'll want to recommend your business. Both are very strong sales messages. One of the other things that does is it gets them thinking about, all right, if it's going to be a referral, let me go ahead and think about 3 friends, or, in the time period that it takes you to complete the project, they're going to run into somebody and they'll think, all right, that's somebody I could refer right there. So, fantastic idea. Tell them up front you're going to ask them for the referral or the testimonial. Number 2 is under-promise, over-deliver. Some of you have heard this as, wrong pen, let's make that the right color. As UPOD, I'll write it up here. Under-promise, over-deliver. Now, this is what Blue Water Realty did not do. They did the opposite. They overpromised and underdelivered with that first really good experience of checking in. Everything went fine. Now, here's what they should have done. They should have, I guess you could say underpromise and overdeliver in that, all right, when I get there, that was cool that I got all the information, but what if they had a check-in specialist? All right, when they get there, they say, all right, Mr. McCarty, so glad you made it in. And we have Chris here. If you'll follow him, he'll actually drive to your house so you don't get lost. You want to make sure you get there, get checked in, get everything. He'll go through the house and make sure, he'll go down his checklist and make sure that everything's just as it should be. 90% of the time it is, but we want to make absolutely certain that you have a great experience, that your vacation starts off right, and that everything goes well. So that would have been under-promising, over-delivering. Let's say you're maybe a cleaning service, and you know good and well that you're going to clean the blinds, but you don't necessarily tell the client, we're going to clean your blinds. So what you do is, you go in, you clean the house, clean the office building, whatever, and you clean the blinds. If the prospect is not there or the client is not there, you leave a little note that says, hey, we had a little extra time, so we cleaned your blinds. We hope you have a fantastic day. Now you've under-promised and over-delivered. You knew going in you'd probably have time to do that, or that you would do that, and you'd do it. Now what that does is that creates a, wow, they went out of their way to make me happy. That person's going to refer you. They're going to give you a great testimonial. Under-promise, over-deliver. Number 3, over-communicate. Now, I don't know about you, but I have never received an email from a client or a customer that says, stop bothering me with all these updates. Stop doing it. I'm annoyed that you're updating me on the progress of my website or my service or whatever it is that you're doing for you. It's never happened to me. I don't know if it's ever happened in the history of the world. Now, contrast that with how many times have you actually written one of these or received an email that says, hey, Eric, what's the status of whatever it is? And you're kind of annoyed that you haven't heard from the people who are supposed to be doing the work for you. So what you want to do with over-communication is each step of the way, tell them that you're excited about the project and you tell them exactly where the project is. That really smooths things out if you're proactive, if there are delays or anything there. So that folks are not sitting around thinking, wow, they're not doing anything for me. Or you're telling them exactly what you're doing, and over-communication will actually smooth things over a lot better than sitting back and having to make excuses when they contact you about something. And so that works out really well. Now, we went ahead and wrote out and use a questionnaire. We actually do this. We started doing it several months ago. And the reason we use a questionnaire is, even if you've done a fantastic job for a client, they may have difficulty kind of putting that, whatever it is that you've done for them, into words or really getting that down in a way that's creative and that sounds good. So what we've done is we created a 10-item questionnaire that we send to our clients, and it might have kind of leading questions that'll say, what have we done specifically that exceeded your expectations? Or, what's different about what we've done for you that made you happy? A lot of different kinds of questions. And what we do is we make sure that the client knows you don't have to answer all those questions. We want this to be easy for you. We don't expect you to answer 10 questions. And so we state that in the email. And I'll just kind of read to you. This is what we actually would send in an email. It says, we're working on a new testimonial section, and if you've been pleased with our services, we'd love to include one for you. We found that asking some questions may trigger one specific thought for you. So we put together a form with several on it, and there we provide the link, which is in the show notes below. You can go actually click on it and see our actual 10 question survey there. And then in bold print it says, please don't feel like you need to answer every question. 1 or 2 would be great. And what we've often found is that, there have been a couple that have only answered 2, but a lot of them will answer 4 or 5, something like that. So the questionnaire is really, really beneficial. So that's one option to do it. Number 5, ask at the right time. Should have used a ruler here because I'm sloping down. I guess that's the effect of vacation on me. Ask at the right time. And for us as a web design or an inbound marketing, it's when we first launch the website, or we've just the client is just starting to see some real some sales from our inbound marketing efforts. That's when they're most excited. So that's when you really want to capture that excitement and ask for the testimonial. Let's say you're a lawn care service or something like that. You've just made the lawn look like it should be in Southern Living. The sun's shining. You knock on the door, say, hey, listen, we just finished the yard. Here's a couple of extra touches that we did. There again, you're under-promising, over-delivering. And you'd say, all right, would you mind just coming out and I have my cell phone. Would you mind just giving us a couple of statements, and I can record it on video and we can put it on our website? And so you're capturing them at the time that they're most excited about the service that you've done for them. Ask at the right time. And number 6 is edit. Our testimonial section has several different testimonials on it. Each include a name and a picture, so you want to do that if possible. But let's say you've gotten a really good questionnaire that someone has filled out, and what you want to do is actually edit that, and don't use all of it. You just really want a couple of sentences, and what you want to do is edit for variety. Our testimonial section actually has several different things, and one person will say something that we really want to characterize our business. We want a prospective client to know about our business. Another one will kind of highlight something else. So you don't use all that stuff. You just kind of pull out 1 or 2, but make sure you edit. Don't put a bunch of stuff in. If they give you a fantastic 1-page, something huge, then you might want to consider turning that into a case study and maybe using that in a longer, you could do that as a blog post or a white paper or an ebook or whatever. Here's a case study on a project that we did, and use that as a longer one. But for your questionnaire, for your testimonials page, you want to really edit that down, trim it down, and make sure that it's nice and concise. So there you go. 6 ways to get testimonials for your website. I hope that's helpful. Hope you get a chance to take a vacation like I did and get some inspiration for some blog posts and things. But anyway, have a great day.